Hi everyone, it's Kelly here from Spiritual Awakening Signs, coming to you today with our brand new masterclass, How to Awaken Your Inner Light, the catalyst for deepened consciousness and spiritual evolution. This is where we're really delving into what I would consider the exclusive content. This is the type of thing that I work with my one-to-one clients on. It's about not only catalysing an awakening, taking the actionable steps to move into that spiritual process, if that's something that you choose to do, or if you're already in it, you want to be progressing even further. It's about taking the next step. It's a really very spiritual process, and there are certain steps that you're going to want to follow, which of course we're going to share in this video. This is, as I say, exclusive content. This is advanced level techniques, and we're going to be covering it all today. So you're going to want to get a pen, you're going to want to get paper, and as I always say, get a cup of tea, get a drink, get something that you can relax with and just enjoy the content, because I guarantee you will not find this information anywhere else. This is tried and tested from experience, and we've got these steps here for you. So we're going to cover a lot today in the video. We're going to talk about what your inner light really is, what that really means, and why it is your gateway to deepened consciousness and spiritual evolution. So we're talking about taking you from where you are now to real spiritual growth, really moving you forward in that ascension pathway. We're also going to cover how we have globally become disconnected from our true essence and how you can reconnect it instantly. If you know how, it's actually quite easy. We're going to be sharing that too. We're going to cover 4 signs that you might be inadvertently actually blocking your inner light's power, because a lot of people do these mistakes, and I want to make sure that we cover them so that you can free that energy, raise your vibration ASAP. And of course, we've got 4 actionable steps that you can take to begin your journey toward that illumination of the inner self. I think you're really going to love this content. It's a big deal, and I think that the people who are following our work are ready for it. So let's get started. Okay, so the one thing I want you to take away from this video, if nothing else, is to recognise the fact that in the kind of chaos that we're living in now, our modern daily lives are very stressful. There's a lot going on. We're taking in tons of information. We're reading a lot of energetic information at the same time. And we have become entirely disconnected from our own inner light, that inner spark within, that sense of self, that sense of soul. And it can really lead to a sense of what I find is spiritual disconnect and spiritual stagnation. So that's usually when clients come to me to work with me one-on-one, that's usually where they're at. They are in a place where they feel that they know they're on a spiritual journey, but for some reason they're seeing all this stuff, they're seeing what everybody else is doing, and somehow it doesn't connect within. It's like, yeah, but I'm not able to connect to that spark, that inner power, that light. You know, you might have had a glimpse of it, or you might never really have been able to connect to it at all. And I want you to know it's not your fault. Okay, we're going to talk about why this happens in a moment, but it's happening to everyone. Okay, there is a way around it. But worse than the fact that we're so completely disconnected, we have become really accustomed to the absence of that inner illumination, and most people are completely unaware that our consciousness is actually stuck at a lower vibrational frequency than what it should be, and it won't change. It will not change until we actively choose to connect to and awaken that inner light. We have to really make a choice, and we have to take actionable steps to be able to connect with that. Once your system knows how, everything's okay, but at the moment we don't really know how. Now, awakening your inner light isn't just a personal revelation when it happens. It's you could call it a cosmic dance with self-realization. Okay, it symbolizes that real pivotal moment in your spiritual growth and in your spiritual journey as a soul, when you consciously acknowledge and align with your true essence. It's absolute authenticity. It is igniting a profound transformation that ripples across your existence. We're not talking about something that just affects you in this lifetime now. We're looking at a timeline, and we're seeing the progression and the growth of your soul, and it's all this time frame that we're working on. It is something that really works through your entire energy. It's a very, very powerful process. And as I say, we're not just talking about, it's not just self-discovery, it is connecting to your inner light. It's a vital beacon within that guides you towards authentic living. If you're disconnected from that, you're not going to really be able to get in alignment, and that may be the challenge that you've had so far. So it really, when you step into this energy, when you choose to awaken the inner light, it marks the transition from just existing, or existing in somewhat of alignment, but it's really the shift from just existing to purposefully existing, to radiating that inner brilliance of the inner light and that power, and infusing every aspect of your life with that renewed clarity and positivity that it can bring the minute you connect with this. So every day that we continue to live our lives disconnected from this inner illumination, this is your birthright. This is something that has always been part of you. We've just forgotten how to connect with it, and every day that we live disconnected from that is another day spent residing in lower frequencies than what we really should be. It's another missed opportunity to take that next step in our spiritual awakening and spiritual evolution by actively choosing the path of enlightenment, not just waiting till it happens, but actively saying, this is what I want in my life, this is what is meaningful to me in my soul and in my spirit, and this is the pathway that I'm going to take. So I will take actionable steps to get there. And you'll keep hearing me say actionable steps throughout the entire video, because it really is something that you need to choose to do and make a forward motion towards that. And as I say, we'll talk about how you can do that just shortly. But the other thing I want you to know is that it's also part of a much bigger picture. So this juncture that you're at in your spiritual journey, you've got the opportunity to step into your inner light's awakening that power and that radiance within you that we all should be connected to anyway, but unfortunately we're not. But what it does is it's going to not only cause you to align and reclaim your truth, it's going to help you to realign with your soul's purpose. It's going to help you embody a life resonating with authenticity and fulfillment. But it's not just about how it benefits you, it's a ripple effect. It extends beyond you and your energy. It makes you, as you awaken to your true self, you become the beacon. You inspire others to embark on that same journey of self-discovery, of inner illumination. You become an example of the energy and of that alignment. And this is where you can really inspire others to make their own shift. So what you realise is it becomes this sort of collective shift. The more people who connect with their own inner light, the more that authenticity shines through, the more it helps others to awaken, and this becomes this huge shift of lots and lots of light workers really raising the vibration. So it's huge. It is absolutely huge. And are you ready? Are you ready for your inner light awakening transformation? Because it's a choice, and you need to decide whether you're ready or not. And I'm certain that you are. So let's talk a little bit about awakening your inner light's magic. Okay. So, like I said, it is an opportunity. It is a call to adventure. You could look at it that way. Are you going to heed the call, or are you going to continue on that path of disconnection from your true essence, which we know doesn't work? We know, we sense it. Something's not right. Something's not in alignment. Life doesn't feel right. It's not flowing. We know that. You want to connect with your true, authentic, higher self and see just how awakened you can actually become. So you need to make the choice. But what we'll do is we'll talk a little bit more about what it actually means. So it is a spiritual process, okay? It's a journey towards self-realization and spiritual awakening. As I say, it's the growth part. So if you're not going through this process already, which I'm sure that you are, you can catalyse it. You make the choice to say, this is going to be my journey of spiritual growth, and this is the path I choose to take in my life. Or if you're already on that path, but it's feeling a little bit disconnected, it's feeling a little bit stagnant, maybe you feel you're not as far on as you thought you would be by this point, then this is where you make the choice, and this is where you decide to expand the growth that you've made already. It's about taking it into the next level, taking it to the next step, and you can choose to do that. It's a really powerful process. It is a metamorphic process, and it's going to help you to vibrate at a higher frequency. And that's where you start to get into the energy of shedding layers of misconception, of unveiling authentic truth. So starting to see things as they really are, not through the perceptions, not through the limiting beliefs, not through the filter that is there as a result of all your previous experiences, really seeing things as they truly are. That's the enlightened energy that comes forth. It's absolute truth, and it can really help you to ultimately have a roadmap through life to navigate with unwavering certainty. There's a centeredness that just isn't there when we're in that disconnected space. So let's talk a little bit about some of the signs that you might be blocking your inner light's power. This is very, very common. I see it with almost all of my clients who come to me for one-to-one sessions. If you've ever felt like something is just not clicking on your spiritual journey, it could be that you're unwittingly blocking the radiance of your inner light. Now, don't worry if that is the case, because this is something that all of us do on the awakening journey. It's what we're conditioned to do. It's what we experience around us. We learn it from the people we grew up around. People are disconnected from their own inner light. So if that's where you're at right now, there's nothing unusual about it, and there's nothing that you need to worry about, but you can take steps to make it better, and you definitely want to avoid the things that are in the way of really allowing that light to step forward. So let's talk about some of the crucial signs that you might be hindering that connection with your own inner self. So sign number 1 would be resistance to change. Now, quite often a sign that you're blocking your inner light is this resistance to change. If you find yourself avoiding new experiences, if you're clinging on to routines, even when they maybe don't actually serve you anymore, and you want to have a little think about that. If you're feeling anxious in any way about stepping out of your comfort zone, the resistance is probably dimming your own inner light, because it's ultimately it takes you to an energy, that is inauthentic. Okay, it's a holding back of who you really are. It's a making you small. When you're not small, you're a huge, powerful spirit, but it brings you down to that energy. So embracing change can definitely be challenging, but it is an essential part of your growth and of your spiritual journey. And if you can just let go of some of that resistance a little bit, you'll see that that inner light really starts to come forward, and that authenticity begins to shine. Sign number 2 that you might be blocking your inner light is overwhelm and neglect of self-care. Okay, now I know empaths are really terrible for this. It comes up all the time. So take a little look and see if that's what's happening for you. So feeling overwhelmed, neglecting your self-care, these things do happen in our busy lives. You know, these things do come up, but it is a warning sign that you are blocking your inner light's power. So when life's demands understandably consume every moment, and there's no space for introspection, there's no space for self-care, your inner light is going to flicker, it's going to dim. Okay, if you're neglecting your emotional, your mental, your physical well-being in any way, it's going to dim the brightness of your inner light, making it really challenging for you to connect with your higher self. Okay, because there's no balance. It's not balanced. This particular area, whether it's mental, emotional, physical, whatever's going on there, the lack of in that area is going to create an imbalance in your energy, and you're going to find that the inner light just cannot shine in that sort of energetic environment. Okay, I know people will be listening to these and thinking, I do all of these, that's normal, but we're going to find a way to move past it, so don't worry. So sign number 3 would be persistent negative thought patterns. This is a tough one. So if you find yourself stuck in recurring negative thought patterns, or maybe there's a lot of self-doubt, maybe a lack of confidence, these sort of patterns can really cloud the clarity of your inner light. So constant negative self-talk or dwelling on past mistakes or things that have happened before, it can really create a barrier between you and your inner self, okay? Because what's happening is the negativity makes us push that part of ourselves away. And when you push that part of yourself away, you're no longer whole. Everything isn't integrated, you see? So what you want to make sure is that you are just watching out for that negativity, trying to integrate those parts of yourself. It is absolutely crucial to work on transforming these thoughts and these feelings to invite much more positivity and light, and ultimately integration as a whole. So you're not living your life with energy pushed out here and that part of myself pushed away there, and you're not resisting parts of yourself. You're accepting who you are, and it's all integrated into your soul and into your energy. Is very, very important. And sign number 4, and I know tons of empaths will resonate with this, is difficulty in speaking up. Okay, light workers and empaths are very sensitive and gentle souls, and can at times feel overwhelmed by energies, by the strong will or the assertiveness of others, and it can make speaking up, expressing true feelings, sometimes even saying no, a disruptive inner conflict. It doesn't feel right for sensitives like that, because they're battling their inner inclination to maintain an energy of peace and equilibrium. So that usually means, just not wanting to rock the boat, not wanting to say how you really feel, not wanting to decline anything in case it upsets someone or causes a problem. And really what we need to do is practice speaking authentically. Practice speaking your truth. That's what's going to bring your inner light to the fore. It's not going to come forward if you are ultimately denying your emotions and feelings and these really authentic parts of who you really are. You don't want to be suppressing that. You want to really allow that to speak and allow that to be present, okay? So don't make those mistakes. Look out for those signs and make sure that you're moving past them. And of course, we'll have a step-by-step shortly that will talk you through everything, but it is really vital to acknowledge these signs when they show up in your life and work towards, again, it's an active energy. You need to work towards removing these blocks so that you can embrace that radiant energy within you. And one thing I would say on this topic is that most people think that awakening is just going to happen. It's just one of these things that your inner light will just suddenly become awakened and everything will flow, and it's not like that. We have to be conscious co-creators. It takes effort and it takes focus, and it also takes commitment, deciding where you want to go in your awakening journey and looking at that point on the horizon and making steady steps, taking actionable steps to move towards that goal on the horizon. It's the same as with anything, any goal or any dream that you have, but you need to take actionable steps. And what I most often find with awakening is that people tend to think it will happen naturally. It'll just happen and I don't need to think about it. I can just move along my life and these things will happen. It won't. You have to decide that you're going to commit to it, and you have to take steps towards it. And I said I was going to keep saying actionable steps. I'm going to keep saying actionable steps because I want you to get the most out of your awakening and out of your potential as a soul and as a light being. And the only way to do that is to really commit and to decide to move forward. So I hope that you're feeling the forward motion energy of that as we talk about it and ready to step forward. So now we've got some tips for you, or steps for you to embrace your inner light's power. This is where we really get into the what do I need to do step by step. What's the tangible steps to really access your inner light's power? It's absolutely remarkable when you start to really connect to that energy. It is like tuning into your own frequency and letting it radiate out into the world. This is where we really talk about a light worker. You're not, knowing what you are within, but just living your life and going ahead with things and hoping they'll happen automatically. You're living your life as a light worker. You're choosing to do things that mean that you connect to your own inner light, which means you radiate that light. You are literally a light worker when that happens, okay? So even though it can be a little bit challenging, and even though there are some pitfalls along the way, all you need is a little bit of guidance to be able to harness that incredible power. Okay, it's within you. You just need to learn how. That's all that's missing, okay? So that's where we have these expert, tried and tested tips that are going to come in. This is information that I have given, as I said, exclusively with my one-to-one clients, where we're looking at the challenges that are going on in their lives, and I'm about to share it right now. Okay, so make sure that you take notes. So tip number 1, first thing that you want to do is to truly nourish your inner light, you need to incorporate routines and practices that resonate with your soul. Okay, so it has to become a part of your life, whether it's a morning meditation, a gratitude journal, maybe it's just a little moment of mindfulness throughout your day. But these daily rituals, these practices that make it a regular thing, tapping into that energy, help you to tap into your inner brilliance consistently. And they train your energy system. That's why they're so important. They train your energy system to maintain that vibration much more frequently. So by simply having a routine that you follow, and whatever it is that it is for you to connect to that inner light, you make it a standard thing. You make it a regular, normal, everyday part of your energy and how it works, to be tapped into that vibrational part of yourself and to be able to maintain that frequency as you go about your day. Okay, so you want to cultivate daily practices that really nourish your inner light, whatever they are for you. So that's tip 1. Tip number 2 is to recognize and release anything that diminishes your inner light. So it's really essential in this process, this transformative process of growth, of moving forward spiritually. You have to identify what it is that dampens your inner radiance. Now, it might be negative thought patterns, it might be some self-doubt, it might be certain environments or even interactions with unhealthy relationships or connections that are draining your energy. But once you recognize what those things are, and they could be a little bit different for everyone, you need to take conscious steps to release or transform these influences. You need, again, actionable steps. I'm looking at this in my life. It doesn't resonate with me and who I truly am. So I'm going to step back from that environment. I'm going to stop connecting with that person, or I'm going to connect in a different way. I'm going to have boundaries. I'm going to stop talking to myself with negative mind chatter. I'm going to watch out for it. I'm going to stop it when it happens and tell myself a positive affirmation instead. It's about really making a conscious focus and effort towards getting rid of and clearing from your energy anything that diminishes your own inner light. And you want to make sure that that is then creating a space, an environment, a lifestyle that really nurtures your light. That can make a huge difference, okay? So tip number 4, self-compassion is key. It is absolutely key to embracing your inner light. You absolutely cannot access your inner light if you are still in a space where you are rejecting yourself. You need to accept yourself wholly, flaws, quirks, everything, warts and all type situation. You need to accept yourself wholly, and this really brings an integration of self. You need to acknowledge that your journey is unique, because it is. No two spiritual awakening journeys are the same, and I know because I've worked with lots and lots of people going through that process. It's very different for everyone, and you need to allow yourself the grace to grow and evolve. It takes time. It takes practice. You will succeed in some areas, you will be challenged in others. You need to affirm to yourself that your experiences and even all your mistakes are learning experiences. This is the learning plane, the earth plane. This is where we come to learn. Now those experiences have become the wisdom of your soul. So you want to try to integrate the wisdom and let go of any of the pain, any of the negativity, any of the judgments on yourself. You want to extract the wisdom from that and let the rest go. And when you really embrace that self-compassion, it empowers your light to shine even brighter. That's when you really get this sense from someone. When you connect with someone spiritually, you think, wow, they're really centered. They've really got it together. It's their inner light that you're sensing. It's that authenticity. There's a calmness. There's a centeredness and a stability that comes with connecting to your inner light and being in that authentic energy. And I know that you can have that for yourself if you follow these tips. And then we've got tip number 4, and this is the most important one, because the challenge that we've got is that the challenges of modern daily life, which are really intense in this current day, they've really disconnected us from our spiritual selves so intensely that we no longer are in tune with the practices and rituals of how to access our own inner light. It's become this sort of forgotten ability. We don't do it automatically. We don't remember how to do it. We sometimes don't even remember that we used to be able to do it. So it is very much a forgotten skill and ability, and our energies simply don't remember how to reconnect with this particular part of ourselves. So that's the problem. It's not that we can't connect, it's that our energies have forgotten the pathway to it, so to speak. They've forgotten how to do that. And we need to remind our energies of how to access that inner light. And the best way to do that is with energy healing, especially when you're at a position where your system has actually forgotten the energetic pathway to connect with that particular part of yourself. So what we can do is we can simply activate the inner light energy. We can remind the soul of that particular pathway to access it. And then the skill is up to date once more, so you can set it and forget it. It's like energy healing has shown the energy, this is how to do that. Your system says, oh yeah, I know how to do that. I can follow that pathway every single time, and it becomes a more automatic thing. The problem isn't really that we can't maintain the vibration, although that can be a little bit challenging. It is the fact that we can't remember how to connect with it in the first place, and energy healing can do that pretty much instantly. So that's usually the best way for you to access this. You can do other alternative ways of doing so, but it can take a long time because your system's having to learn from scratch. Whereas if you use energy healing, you just bring in the download to show your system how to do it, and it's ready. It is ready to go, and it's an instant shift. Okay. So if you're looking for ways to dive deeper into embracing your own inner light, we have a meditation that can help you with that. And we're going to talk about all the different details of what that is and how it can help you and see if it resonates with you. But let's have a little recap about what we've learned today. I want you to make sure that you're taking away all the information so that you have everything you need to really make this a practice that is meaningful to you and becomes part of who you are as a practice, as a maintenance for your energy and a growth moving forward. So we talked about how we've become completely disconnected from our own inner light, which brings a sense of spiritual disconnection, spiritual stagnation. We also talked about how we've become totally accustomed to this. This is the norm because we don't remember being connected to that inner part of ourselves, and we've not been taught by the people around us because they've forgotten how to do it too. It's really a big pivotal time where we recognise that people in general are disconnected from their own inner light, and it won't change unless you take, everyone say it with me, actionable steps to actively connect to and awaken that light once more. And then we talked about some signs that you are blocking your inner light's power. Sorry, I've just lost my place a little bit. So it was resistance to change. You want to let that go. Overwhelm and neglect of self-care. Persistent negative thought patterns. And difficulty in speaking up. That's usually the 4 key signs that you're looking out for, that you're actually unintentionally impeding that inner light's power. Okay. And then we talked about 4 tips to embrace your inner light's power. And you need to follow these to the letter. It's very important. Or of course, as I said, we've got a meditation that will do all of this for you with energy healing. So tip 1, cultivate daily practices that nourish your inner light. Tip 2, recognise and release what diminishes your inner light. Start to step away from that. Tip 3, embrace self-compassion and acceptance. And tip 4, awaken your inner light using energy healing so that you can set it and forget it. It's an instant thing. It's like giving your soul a training of it. Here's how to do this once more. It can remember, and then it can do it for you automatically. And then you can maintain it all the time. Now, if you want some help with that, the good news is you don't need to go to energy healers, you don't need to train in energy healing, you don't need expensive repeated sessions. If you are ready to get started on awakening your inner light right now, then you can check out our brand new energy healing meditation, the Inner Light Awakening. And it is specifically created to help you to clear spiritual stagnation, to awaken your inner light's power, and to activate the untapped light within for deepened consciousness and spiritual growth. And you can get started in just about 10 minutes time if you like. You won't find a healing product like this anywhere else. Our meditations are a special blend of guided meditation and energy healing and activations. So it's the equivalent of a specifically tailored energy healing session with me, because I work with a collection of spirit guides who are dedicated to helping us on the awakening pathway. And when you listen to these meditations, they'll go to work on your behalf. It's not just the same for everyone. It is adjusted to you and your energies, and the guides will adjust it to your energies specifically for you, your energy and your awakening whenever you choose to use that. Okay, and of course you can use it again and again from your own home and at your own pace to heal layers and to continue that progression as you see fit. And of course it's a helpful thing to have throughout your awakening. You know you can call upon this in your spiritual toolkit if you ever need it. If you ever start to feel a bit disconnected, you just listen to the meditation and you'll be reconnected again. So the meditation is going to help you to instantly connect with the vibrant energy of your own inner light for deepened consciousness and spiritual growth. And it's going to clear spiritual stagnation and those lower vibrational frequencies that are probably holding back and blocking your inner light's power. It's going to clear those out of the way. It's going to help you to allow that glowing beacon within to guide you to your higher vibrational life. It's going to activate the profound untapped light within you easily, effortlessly, and it's going to help you to maintain the connection long term because your soul will know how to do it. It's going to help you to embody a life resonating with authenticity and fulfillment, and it's going to help you to become that light worker, that beacon, inspiring others to embark on their own journeys of self-discovery and inner illumination too. It really has quite a lot to it, this energy healing meditation, and I invite you to take a look below and just see if it resonates with you.